Good morning, Clusterinos. Good morning, Clusteroonies. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news. And the news are so shady today. It's not even funny. Today is going to be a Tómala Saturday. We have three shocking bits of news. Well, just crazy Tómala news that I think are going to be interesting to look at. But of course, we also have some leisurely stuff that I want to share. How is everybody doing? Is everybody looking forward to the weekend? I know I am. It's been a week of a lot of fun and excitement, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity to unwind and regroup. Today is Saturday, 25th of February. And as always, I welcome everyone to the broadcast. If you are watching live for the first time and you want to let us know, if you write the word new in your comment, we'll give you a nice little welcome. If there is something that is really that's just you just want to share with people, and it's really important to you, just add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and we'll be so very happy to bring it up during our leisurely comment section at the end of the broadcast. And I see a lot of fun good mornings this morning, so we'll get to those later on. But first, the headlines. It's a total Tómala day today. What is it about world leaders that insist on sticking their nose in other countries' business? It's a big mystery to me. This has to do with Peru's President Dina Boluarte, who has asked the Peruvian ambassador in Mexico to leave our country after Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, our president, made some rather inappropriate statements about Peru's government during one of his morning press conferences. Mr. López, said President Boluarte, violates the principle of international law of not sticking your nose in another country's internal affairs. Of course, she didn't say it like that, but that was the gist. What's going on in Peru? Well, apparently she was elected president, and there is a coup going on with the government involving the former president, who's not so happy after having lost the elections, apparently. Sounds familiar? Well, that is the case. Now, I don't know whether the new government is fair or unfair, or I don't know anything about Peru's politics. But López Obrador made several comments on his morning press conference about the low approval ratings that the new Peruvian president has, or so he claims. So, tómala. This is what happens when you make a little comment in a press conference. Now, the political, cultural, and friendship relationships between Peru and Mexico are gone, and we have our president to thank for this. Again, I don't know who's wrong or right, but if President Lopez Obrador had been minding his own business, this probably would not have happened. Second tomala of the day: how can we tell that Guadalajara, our capital city, is not too keen on enforcing the new anti tobacco laws? Well, just ask the mayor of Guadalajara, Pablo Lemus, who was recently asked if the city was going to support the enforcement of the new laws. No, not really, he said. Are we going to support the federal government? No, we are not. Our city inspectors are too busy for that, and they are here for other things. For example, to ensure that businesses are operating properly or that new construction projects do not exceed current guidelines. The new anti tobacco law was approved by the federal government. It is excessive, and it's up to the federal government to see it enforced. We are not doing it. Tómala. And that's our capital city. Of course, here in Puerto Vallarta, we don't seem to have enough city inspectors to take care of the basic business of the city. So are we going to see the new anti-tobacco law enforced anytime soon? Probably not. Tómala number 3. Jalisco says no gracias, no thank you to COVID vaccines. You see, the Jalisco Secretary of Health has announced that it is rejecting the latest shipment of COVID vaccines that was suggested by the federal government. Why? Because the federal government is shipping the Abdallah vaccine, which was produced by Cuba. No big whoop, but this new vaccine is not endorsed by the World Health Organization, and there is no evidence of its efficacy. Is that even a word in English? I hope so. Of its effectiveness or security as a first-time vaccine or as a booster. Secretary of Health Fernando Peterson stated that the population is entitled to having all the information available about the Cuban vaccine, or any vaccine for that matter, so that the people can decide whether they choose to use it or not. Tómala. Can you tell I'm having fun with these? Yes. The next one is, this is not so much a tómala as it is a cautionary tale. Apparently, there are quite a few used bicycles available for sale on Facebook at excellent prices locally. Unfortunately, there are also quite a few bicycles being stolen in Puerto Vallarta these days. There is a WhatsApp group called Bike SOS Vallarta Bahia, where between 3 and 5 bicycle thefts are reported on a daily basis. So if you are going out and about town on a bike to run errands, just make sure that you lock your bicycle properly, or maybe even double properly. And the last bit of news that I have to share, Vallarta Independiente reports on the increasing number of clandestine trash dumps in certain areas of the city, primarily the outskirts. Of course, we're probably talking about areas that are not in paradise, as many foreigners like to refer to our city. This is mostly happening in the outskirts, but even in certain intersections in popular neighborhoods such as Emiliano Zapata, one can see the mountains of trash that is not collected in a timely fashion. Of course, there's not much we can do here other than to be aware of the problem, but we can certainly deal with our trash in our responsible manner whenever possible. And this is the end of the big news. Now let's continue to the weather and take it from there. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Well, the snarky weather is also feeling particularly snarky today. Snarky weather says you're a fucking moron. So you've got that going on for you, which is nice. I have no idea where that came from. But last you asked me how mean our snarky weather could get. Well, it's set up in the kill mode, so it's pretty unruly. But what do we care? It is 27 degrees. Humidity is low, 38%. This is good. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 80. And our weather forecast for today, partly cloudy through the day with a high of 30 and a low of 19. Tomorrow, Sunday, will be a partly cloudy day with a high of 30 and a low of 18. And we begin the next week with another partly cloudy day with a high of 30 and a low of 19. And that is the weather for you, my friends. Next, I want to tell you that the cat is out of the bag. When we had our music appreciation lecture the other day, I asked friends that were there, what would you like to see next? Somebody suggested jazz. So, drum roll. Tuku, 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 tuku. Here it is. Our next music appreciation lecture will be how to listen to jazz. If you don't like jazz or you think you don't like jazz, maybe you will learn some interesting bits of information here so that you can better appreciate jazz. And if you are already a jazz enthusiast, hopefully you will pick up a few cues and bits of information that will help you better appreciate this fascinating music genre. The lecture will take place on Thursday, March 9 at the usual place. This will be a joint co-working hotel. And there you have it. I hope to see you there. If you're one of the people that have decided to subscribe to Cinepolis Click, the company's streaming business, please know that it will cease to exist on May 31st due to so much competitiveness from other streaming services. I'm not surprised. I keep reading that services that are coming from other countries like the United States, some of the smaller services are also calling it quits because there is simply too much competition. But there are good things coming on and leaving some of the bigger services, as we will announce shortly. But first, here is an activity that I will not be adding to my personal bucket list. Apparently, there is a place somewhere in the state of Guanajuato where you can take a siesta on a hammock, but your hammock happens to be suspended up in midair. Apparently, you are held onto the cable with chingadera that is attached to your body, I suppose. But as much as I'm not really afraid of heights, this is something that I will not be adding to my wish list anytime in the future, just not for me. The company is called SkyDream Guanajuato, and if you want to learn more about them, I will look for their Facebook page and I will gladly share it in the show notes. As I was saying earlier, there's all kinds of goodies in the big streaming platforms, and I know I'm not the only one that is looking forward to the next season of Succession on HBO. It is coming on March 26th, but producers have announced that this will be the final season. If you have not seen what these three characters are up to in this crazy show, I totally recommend it. And the last thing that I have to report today is that tonight is the Joint Co-working Hotel's first anniversary fundraising event. It starts at 6 p.m. today. It'll be a nice way to support local artists and a great way to celebrate the hotel's success. I'm going to be there later on. The event will feature art, music, drinks, food, and fun. So hopefully we will cross paths there. If not, hopefully we will cross paths sometime soon in other parts of the city. And with that said, let us take a quick look at your comments just to see what everybody is up to today. I see lots of good mornings, which I appreciate, and you know that. Let's see. Albert says, had my first experience with getting medical care at Joya Marina Hospital. I really need to work on my Spanish. Well, that's a personal choice, and I hope that you do. Christoph. Hello, Chris, from the Secret Wine Bar, my favorite wine stop in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. It is great to read you. Let's see what else we have. New Jersey is in the house. Hello, Ricky. It's great to read you as well. Let's see what else we have. Hungry and looking forward to eating after the broadcast. That makes two of us. Let's see. Luisa likes the snarky weather because it has her inner voice. I am afraid. I see some reports of me cutting in and out. I am sorry to hear that. Hopefully, it's not generalized. But sometimes, as you know, the internet gods get a little bit unruly. And last but not least, just like Christy said, I prefer my hammock to be much closer to the ground, and Pat comments right above sand is good. I totally sympathize with you, empathize rather. I don't know if you know this, but many traditional Mexican homes have hammock hooks inside because the hammock is the sofa for some people. This is quite common in the state of Yucatan, for example, but that's just a little bit of knowledge and information that I hadn't scheduled. But for example, my next door neighbor, Dina, she had her father install hammock hooks inside of the apartment, and good for her. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today. There's a cue. The cost for tonight's event, please. It is a free event. I understand that you get a cocktail and some munchies, and then after one cocktail and munchies, you are on your own. Everything else is, of course, to support these artists. So there you have it. That was Coffee and Headlines for today. Today is Saturday, so we won't be around tomorrow, but I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. As always, stay happy, stay kind, stay connected. Enjoy a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again next week.